In this section of general vocabulary, we are going to use some more aspect of words or phrases which are to be used in their proper form, that is correct form. So we have to complete these sentences with the correct form of one of the verbs in the box. These are all verbs, and both sentences of each pair, there are two pair like this, the first one, the second one, we should use the same verb. In some cases the meaning of the verb may change slightly. The first example is given, that is moving the countryside radically dash our lifestyle. So altered can be used. So we have used alter in its correct form, altered. Then we have some people choose to alter. Directly we can use alter, their appearance with surgery. Second one, by dash to a different provider, it can be possible to pay much less for your mobile phone bills. For that, the switch will be good, but we'll use switching here. We'll use switching. By switching to a different provider, it can be possible to pay much less for your mobile phone bills. And here, I choose drama as an extracurricular activity, but dash to photography a few weeks later. In this also, we'll use the proper form. So we have to use switched, not switch, but switched to photography. In this third, it can take time to dash to living in a different country. So what we are going to use, we'll use adjust. So it can take time to adjust to living in a different country. So we'll use the same form. Here price seems low, but when you again adjust them to allow for tax, they're considerably higher. So we can use adjust in both the cases. Now the noise built up rapidly, fourth one we are looking at. The noise built up rapidly and then just as quickly it dashed into the distance. What we are going to use, because we are talking about noise and it is going to fade, right? Not reduce but fade. So we'll use here the noise built up rapidly and then just as quickly faded into the distance. We use the proper form, faded. As the applause faded, again faded, we'll use faded, the speaker started switching. Then the amount of tax you pay on a car dash according to the amount of carbon dioxide it emits. Means what we're going to use, we'll use vary. So it will be the amount of tax you pay on a car varies. We'll use IES with varies according to the amount of carbon dioxide it emits. And what about this case? People's reaction to the medicine vary a lot, with some people complaining it has no effect. And also we'll use the same form of vary. Then everyone should try, we're looking at 6. Everyone should try to fill in the blanks the number of or the amount of fat in their diet. What we are going to use? We'll use, say, reduce. So everyone should try to reduce the amount of fat in their diet. So we are using reduce as it is. Then again, we have many companies were forced to reduce their workforce during the recession. So we'll use reduce also. Same in the similar manner we use here. Then on 7th, economic crisis often dash into social unrest. That means we'll use deteriorate, and this deterioration or the good form is economic crisis often deteriorate into social unrest. Here the weather deteriorate, no, it deteriorated. We can also say worsen or get worse, because we can use worse, but worse is not available to us. So the weather deteriorated rapidly when it started raining and the winds picked up. 8th one, ankles and other joints often dash when people travel by air. So what we are going to use here, what can be used? We can use here, say, swell, because you have to travel in a sitting position. So ankle and other joints often swell swell, same word. The town is home to 3,000 people, but this figure, what we are going to use here, it swells to 12,000 in the same summer. Swells. We'll use S with swells in plural form. Then the tokens can be dash for food in the student canteen. Then what we are going to use here, because tokens are for exchanging, so we'll use exchange here. The tokens can be exchanged. We'll use ed after exchange. The tokens can be exchanged for food in the student canteen. And then shops will normally exchange. We'll use only exchange here. Exchange damaged goods if you have a receipt. Then the 10th one, businesses in the city center were offered funding so they could dash their premises. What? They could renovate. Renovate is remaining. So they could renovate their premises in the same form. Then in some cases it can be more expensive to renovate, and old building, then knock it down and build a new one. The other form of changes in general vocabulary. Now do the same for these. So we are going to choose these words, place them here in the proper form. First one, email has largely dashed the traditional letters as a means of written business communication. This is asking about some say replacement. So we'll use replace. So email has largely replaced. We'll use ed after replace. The plan is to dash all the old desktop computers in the library with netbooks. Replace in the similar form. Replace. Then second one, some companies are slow to dash to a changing market. What we are going to use? Can you find out? Adapt. So some companies are slow to adapt to a changing market. Here we'll use courses can be adapted to suit the needs of individual students. Then the third one, the symptoms of illnesses like measles aren't usually serious and dash within a few days. Means disappear. They appear or disappear, so we'll use disappear directly. And in this case, as the sun disappeared behind, as the sun disappeared behind the clouds, temperature quickly dropped. Then in this case, a college course can help you find a job or get which you are going to use. This fourth one will be promote or promoted. So college course can help you to find a job or get promoted at a work. This one, the Peter principle, is a theory which says that in a big company, everyone eventually gets what? Promoted to a job that is beyond their ability. So we'll use promoted in both the cases. Then coming to the fifth one, some people think that the government should dash the rules regarding building on protected land. What we are going to use here, let us see, relax. You can use relax. Government can relax the rules. And here for the final part of the exercise, you need to repeatedly tighten, then relax your stomach muscles. Sixth one is the government aim in the next 5 years is to dash educational standard. Say improve. You can use improve. The government aim in the next year to improve educational standards. And the best way of what we are going to use here? Improve, no. Improving. The best way of improving your English is to practice using it as much as possible. The seventh one. Water freezes in the pipes, forcing them to dash and burst. What we are going to use here? Expand. Use expand here. Water freezes in the pipe, forcing them to expand and burst. Then Britain universities dash at an unprecedented rate. So we'll use expanded at an unprecedented rate at the end of the 20th century. Eighth one. Supermarkets dash prices on many basic items to attract more customers. Supermarkets can cut down the price. So we'll use cut. Supermarket cut prices on many basic items to attract more customers, then I believe that governments should increase spending on the arts instead of what we are going to use here, cutting it. Instead of cutting it. Ninth one. Email and social networking websites have dashed the way people communicate. What we can use? They have transformed. They have transformed. But here we'll use email and social networking websites have transformed the way people communicate. Here we'll use when it was closed down, the old fire station was again transformed into an art gallery. 10th one. House prices are so high that the number of people buying their own home has dashed in the last 5 years. Decline. We'll see decline because they are talking about declining. So house prices are so high that the number of people buying their own home has declined. We'll use ED. Decline in the last 5 years. Here, because so many people are out of work, living standards are declining rapidly. So hope you got the idea, and now you can very well change or alter or reduce or transform things. So be ready for the next one. Thank you.